What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of the Commanders Draft Podcast. Look, we are 11 days away from the NFL Draft, and we're about to go on once again, position by position, with the running back class. This running back class is very, very deep, so me and the gang are definitely going to look at every single player that we feel like will fit the Washington Commanders. But there's also some chatter along the way about should we draft two running backs? Telly, we're talking about you. But maybe that should be a good conversation to have with our running back room. This is the Commander Draft Show. Kick it off live. What's up, everybody? It is the Commander's Draft Show podcast live on Redzone In the Lab. We are here live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter with your boy DT. And we got Kyle in the building. Smoke should be joining us smoothly. And we also have Radar in the background. We are here 11 days out from the NFL draft, Kyle. Finally, the draft fatigue, the conversation, we're about to get bored, but we're almost here. We're hanging on by a limb.
You could smell it in the air, DT. It's not here just yet, but we're itching at it. This is when you're really going to start heating up with conversations on what guys like. Which, with John Keim's tweet the other day, per ESPN, saying the Washington's looking for a dynamic running back that can be an every down guy. And it makes you scratch your head and question things a little bit on what you're looking at. But I'm very excited. We picked a good time to do running backs.
Most definitely. And it's interesting to talk about the running back position, right? We seen it kind of faded away a little bit within the offenses for a couple of seasons. But now we start to see this big resurgence at the running back position when you have the three guys to mention, as in Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley, of course, to have their crazy seasons last year, helping their teams. So I ask you this: with how deep this running back class is, and you see how in the NFL with those three guys, has the running game officially coming back to be the emphasis of the National Football League?
I'll say the running game in total, yeah. Because we all know this, that defenses now are very keen on stopping the pass. Like, it's almost like the stock market in a way where a couple years it was the passing game exploded and everyone's saying it's a passing league now. Well, now defenses have adjusted and are sitting in more so in those deep kind of zones and coverages in order to force you to have to run the ball. And so that obviously doing that has allowed the avenue, the alley for the running game to operate more so in. And with those three guys, you have to acknowledge the fact that their offensive lines are very good. And, of course, they're very talented. I mean, Derrick Henry, going back to that Titans team with Taylor Lewan leading that group, that was a fantastic offensive line that opened up things for him. And him going to Baltimore was a perfect fit for him and Lamar Jackson. And Saquon going to the Eagles behind their offensive line. Obviously, you know that Saquon is special, but you could see in New York the compare and contrast of the offensive line play.
Yeah.
And so as much as you want to give them all the credit, you do have to acknowledge the fact that their offensive line is also helping them make it happen. And especially in Saquon's aspect, it's like putting gas to a fire, the fire being the offensive line, and they just really did explode last year.
Yeah, very interesting points, Kyle. Especially with Philadelphia. You know, Philadelphia has always had the foundation in place with building their offensive line, and they also add the rusher. But it wasn't not too long ago that in their first appearance with Jalen Hurts at quarterback in the Super Bowl, they had Miles Sanders as their starting running back, and he had a good 1,200 yards in that backfield. Now you add a couple of seasons later to a Saquon Barkley, and he gives you 2,000 yards rushing within that offensive line. So the sky's the limit. It also tells you the ceiling of how some of these guys have when they are on better overall teams. So for Washington's case, last year, our leading rusher was Jaden Daniels
Yeah.
at quarterback. And The past couple of seasons, we have seen Brian Robinson. We all love B Rob, but we still are not getting, I would say, enough out of B Rob. I think he's kind of necessarily kind of hit his ceiling in an aspect of like he is with the injuries and sometimes the vision problem within the backfield or sometimes with O line play. He has been an average 700 to 800-yard running back. With Austin Eckler, he comes in last year and provides a spark in the passing game and in the running game. But unfortunately for him, has been the injury bug that has followed him along his career when he was with the Chargers. So this is going to be interesting because both of those guys, they're on a 1-year deal of their contract on this roster, and you also bring back um,
Jeremy McNichols.
McNichols. I was about to say McNuggets. I was about to say McNuggets, man. I'm glad to say it. But McNichols also go back. Who was a very solid third guy to contribute to the running game. So Telly has this proposal about not only should we draft one running back, we should draft two running backs. What are your thoughts about that?
I think Telly is probably on the right mindset of seeing the future aspect of it. Whereas you're looking at it saying, well, they don't have any running backs projected to be on the roster for the 2026 season. So you could say that they're probably going to, with a deep class like this, that they probably would add two guys. And I think Telly's probably on the same wavelength, and maybe that makes sense. But I would go a step further to say Telly might be right about adding two running backs, but I don't think drafting two running backs because it is such a deep class. You could draft a running back and then pick up another talented one as a UDFA, right? And that's where I'm kind of thinking. So maybe Telly is on to something, but honestly, it does cause me pause to concern because with like you talked about B Rob not hitting his ceiling. I think with B Rob, he's a perfect back for like what the Pittsburgh Steelers want to do, where they just want to get you loaded up front and they want to run right at you and they'll bludgeon you to death and then hit you with play action. And I think B Rob in that sort of system makes a lot of sense. Whereas
Mhm.
our system over the years has not been that mindset, even going back to Eric Bieniemy, who literally was pass, 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 pass. And last year, you saw that when he was able to get out in space, he does really well in that Titans game, getting you that touchdown. But it's generating that free space for our running backs that has almost hampered us over the past couple of years. And that's what I think the marriage between the offensive line, the running back, and the running game is so important because as much as I want to give crap to Brian Robinson for not producing more, I also look at the circumstances and the environment that he was in and can say, was he really set up for success in his skill set? And obviously, those are excuses, and he needs to produce, and he has in a widespread. But the fact being is, if this regime wants to add a home run hitter, and I know they used every down back, but I think the key word is dynamic there. I wouldn't poo poo it or shoo it away.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant about the top two picks in using in that regard unless they trade back.
That's interesting. Interesting perspective. We see Smoke is up here as well. If anytime he wants to chime in, he definitely can.
What's up? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can definitely
Yeah,
hear you good, bro.
I'm en route to the house, so I set up in a second. But I did want to chime on this right here. Telly, all right, to Telly's point, he never said he wanted to go back to back running backs. He said, just give me two. So that could be second round, seventh round, second round, sixth round, whatever it is. He never put a format to it. But I don't want two running backs when right now I know with what I have is five. Me, I've said this like throughout the season, off season, everything. B Rob is we can upgrade that. That's how I feel. That's how a lot of us feel. But I'm not calling him a bad running back. What I do put on Cliff, Anthony Lynn, and everything like that is I believe the run game script, the run game style needs to be changed a little bit. I don't like our running scheme and things of that nature. So until I'm confident in the running scheme, I feel like, what I mean, we could get anybody to put back there if what I mean the old line isn't in sync and things of that nature. So it goes a lot into it, but I just don't like our run scheme and things of that nature. But that was chiming into the Jaden being our leader.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. So when the thing about adding two running backs is you have to look at the roster construction. Definitely looking at how many guys you want to keep on the roster. With the understanding that knowing that Brian Robinson's on the last year of his rookie year, and Austin Eckler's on the last year of his contract that he signed with us, I definitely see a scenario. But I think more of they would draft a running back, and with how deep this class is, they could sign a guy that's an undrafted free agent, bring him into camp to compete with a guy like McNichols and anybody else that's on the roster. Then, if they feel like that guy who could contribute on special teams in a shape or form and provide some value in the backfield, then we can get in that conversation of like, okay, that definitely upgrades the room. But necessarily, I think they will do that. To be quite honest with you, they'll draft a running back, wherever it is day one or day two or day three of the draft, and then add another running back within the undrafted free agency.
Yeah, like when it comes to DQ, and I say this throughout the weeks and things of that nature, he loves competition. So if he goes out there and gets a running back first, second, fourth round, I'm telling you, he's seeing something within B Rob, Eckler, and everything, and seeing how they gonna bounce back with competition in that room. But if it's a sixth, seventh rounder, yeah, I lean more towards the McNichols way and things of that nature. But first, second, fourth round, I'm leaning towards the competition and things that DQ loves to instill into these players.
Gotcha. Just catching on a couple of questions. Brian Robinson missed too many easy yards that his powerful run style don't make up for. Yes, there are some times where when we do look at the run game with Brian Robinson, there are some times where we want him to make a cut or so within the backfield, but he just doesn't make the cut. Another thing Gus also says, I prefer to upgrade our O line, but coaches seem to be happy with Allegretti and Wiley at guard. Therefore, they probably want a special running back talent to compensate for a stable but low ceiling offensive line. What do you think about that, Kyle?
I don't think that they are content with that. I don't think that DQ and company are this style to be content with anything. I would imagine they want to upgrade the offensive line to make it easier on the running backs. And one thing I'll say about B Rob is when he was out, the physicality of the offense was very much missing. And that's what Brian Robinson brings for you. Look, Brian Robinson is not a perfect prospect. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge the fact that early in the season, they were doing really well at creating things for B Rob. I mean, going to that Arizona game without having Austin Eckler, he produced in a very good way. But this is something I was screaming about even after the Ravens game. Whereas we can say that we have a very good running game, but when you go against stout run defenses, that's when you know if you have a good running game or not. And especially against that Ravens team where they held us, I think, like 60, 70 yards, which was their season average allowed. It kind of told you that, is that really a running back problem? Because you can sit here and say that they need more electricity, they need more speed and shiftiness. But at the end all be all, if you're not allowing that player to be able to get into space to use that speed because he's trying to navigate through things, you're not going to see the same production out of them. And then, so all I'm saying is, even if you add that speed back, I am concerned that we will be saying what's going on with the offensive line because next season they're not able to generate that speed that we're wanting to see, right? You can always try to manipulate the plays to be able to get that player in space, but when the rubber meets the road, that is a concern for me. That was dating back to last season. I loved what they did with Laramie Tunsil. I do think that he will be a huge impact, but the loss of Sam Cosmi is
Mm-hmm.
very big, and
Yeah,
that's something that you're going to have to replicate. And that's why I've been saying for a while, I think Brandon Coleman needs to go in at guard, because going against those DTs in Philly, going against Dexter Lawrence in New York, I trust Brandon Coleman to move those guys off the spot. If you look me in the eye and tell me you're confident that Andrew Wiley can be able to move those guys one-on-one, man-on-man, and move their body, I'm a say you're fibbing. You're just trying to get a point across, because in our honest opinion, I don't trust that as far as I could throw him.
got you. Stable low ceiling O line. I think I'll only say it's there are some aspects of it being low ceiling based on the Brandon Coleman conversation. Me personally, I was with him going to guard. If they were to find a better tackle, and look, Lord and behold, they find Laramie Tunzel by trade, and they do want to still try him out at right tackle. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But when we evaluated him last year, after we drafted him, we saw the guard traits,
Hmm.
and I think it'll be much better if you were to put him at left guard right next to Tunzel, and then either this year or next year, you find the right tackle of the future, and then you service a Wiley and Allegretti who've done solid jobs, but more likely in this point in the NFL, there are good valuable backups. Um, I think that also dictates how the run game can be effective as well.
I think it's much more so needed on the right side. I trust Laramie Tunsil and our boy Badass in the middle to be able to help that left guard out with Allegretti, or if that is Allegretti. Like I've said for a while, if they wanted to go offensive line in the first round, that would make a lot of sense to me because then you're basically saying that guy you're drafting is either going to be right tackle or right guard. If not, you could always have him at guard and Coleman at right tackle. And now you've created that competition that Smoke is talk about with DQ at left guard. And if you're having that competition at one position, then you're really cooking with gas and you're going to be able to do something well. Like we added Nate Herbig, for example, who's a big dude, strong guy. And that's something that is music to my ears in regards to having the tough physical, because defensively, you could say we have that tough physical mindset, but offensively, we don't have that currently. And that's what B Rob specializes in. And so I think the offensive line needs to mirror that identity. And as of late, I don't have that confidence if you're telling me Wiley's going to be at guard. That's just my personal opinion.
Hey, I like the fact that the question is about having a better O line because like if we look at it, these coaches got a task. By the addition of Tunsil, you would think in the average year, Brandon Coleman stay at left tackle, Allegretti stay at right. The communication could be better, things of that nature. But now they got to really coach. They got to really spot who fits with who. We know Tunsil is the left tackle. We know Biotis is the center. And left guard, right tackle is up in the air right now. So they really have to pay attention. So this offseason, OTAs, training camps, I'm going to pay attention to them, especially when we get into the preseason to see the combinations they roll out there and things of that nature. So, yeah, I'm all about fixing the O-line, but tonight's show is about getting that dynamic running game and things of that nature. So, hey, man, these guys wasn't pretty bad run blockers. If you ask me, it just seemed like running backs wasn't seeing certain things. Sometimes Jaden would keep the ball when he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah,
So was
that's
that
true
on the
too.
running back or is that on Jaden? You know what I mean? So or is that on the O line? So that's just where I'm at with it, man. O line goes to the run game, and we're gonna get right into it tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And what I'll say is like about left guard, like that's great that you have the really good push on the left side, but that means that you're not going to be able to move on the right side. And one thing
Yeah.
that was very, very evident last season was our inability to run the football sustainably against good defensive fronts. And we can sit here and say that's the running backs not seeing things, but at the end of the day, if you're not seeing the production against really good stout defenses, it all goes and leads to one aspect. That's the offensive line. Because you really know your offensive line is good if they're able to move the ball against some very stout fronts. And last season, every good stout defensive front that we saw against the run, they were unable to be able to move the ball against them. And it was like less than 80 yards we were producing. And that like Philly is a really good example when we went against them. And then also the Ravens were a great example to show what we needed to get better at. And they added Nate Herbig, and I think that he's somebody who's really biting at the bit to be able to showcase what he can do. But
Hmm.
it's still a big question mark because about the injury and everything. But that's somebody that you're adding mass in the interior, and that's something that you absolutely need going against these DTs that we're going to face.
You know what's crazy though? We couldn't even run the ball against Dallas.
Right.
We couldn't run the ball
Yeah,
against Dallas.
that's in either game. Either game. Yep.
And to your point, DT, what you opened up with in saying that Jaden Daniels was our leading rusher, and like God bless him for doing that and putting his body on the line for us. But like at the end all be all, that is sort of embarrassing and indicative of what the problem is. And it might not be just running back, but it's the fact of having to get Jaden to be able to misdirect the defense was how we were able to generate yards. Because my whole thought process, like Doc Walker loves this by saying we're going to line up, you know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to punch you in the mouth and we're going to move you out the way and be able to get the yards that we want. You know what play's coming and you can't stop it. We didn't have that ability last year in running the football. And that's what we're hoping to be able to accomplish from here on out.
Yeah, got you. Most definitely. But all right, man, we about to go ahead and get started again. They cooking Unk in the chat. Yeah.
No, he's right. He's absolutely right. I wholeheartedly agree with him. Like as a former offensive lineman, I know I don't look like it, but I truly believe in that. And like the marriage with Saquon and that offensive line, when you have a very good offensive line with this talented running back, that's when real magic happens. And that's what we want to be able to do. But are we confident our offensive line is built enough to say that we can add that talented running back and be able to do well? I don't know.
All right. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started with our running backs. We all have compiled a list of running backs that we like. And the first one up we're going to be talking about will be RJ Harvey, running back at the University of Central Florida. And I'll give a couple of nitbits before, because I know this is Smoke's guy. Guy's 5'8", ran a 4.47. Dude, he's arguably one of the best running backs you've seen played at Central Florida. Last time we've seen a good back like that was probably like Storm Johnson. That's probably a name people ain't heard that in a mighty long time. When you see this guy, this dude has that quick burst. He's like a mighty mouse in the backfield, man. He looked like a guy that can catch the ball in the backfield, make it 0 to 60. He's a little electrifier in the backfield. So, Smoke, go ahead and talk about your guy.
Hey man, that's my guy. Kind of reminds me of a little smaller Bucky Irvin, if you ask me. The way
Okay.
he picks his holes and everything. I'm glad you used in the film, man. Like this guy, man, is a little jitterbug at that. Fast. I love his patience in the backfield. We're looking for a back that loves to take the ball, out of shotgun, out of pistol formations, and things of that nature. This is something that he's very familiar with, man. So I love RJ Harvey. One thing I noticed is he's a underrated pass blocker as well. He has some pass blocking film that's out there where it's like, whoa, like this guy, like you wouldn't think that. So my player comp is Bucky Irvin, man. But like I said, I think this is a guy we can definitely target. If we had a third, yes, but hopefully he can fall to us at that 128 in the fourth. But this is my guy right here. What you got on him, Kyle?
I liked watching how they utilized him. Did Jefferson transfer from Arkansas? Is that his quarterback?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
KJ Jefferson.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's KJ
I
Jefferson. Yeah.
love KJ Jefferson the way that he plays, man. But watching RJ Harvey, one thing that takes away is how they utilized him and being able to use those wheel routes and being able to get him off on the corners, and obviously utilized him a lot. I mean, if you watch the one game, I can't think of it now. I watched it earlier, but he literally leaks out to the flat. They dedicated defender to him. He gets off that defender, goes vertically into the end zone. Then they have another defender. So it's like obviously every defense going against UCF knew RJ Harvey was the guy you had to guard against. And he was still pulling off things like this. You see the quick agility to be able to move inside the pocket and everything. My one critique was the pass blocking. Just being at 5'8" and everything, you do worry at the next level. Like if you had Frankie Louvu blitzing him, like I think that there would be a different outcome. You know what I mean? Like because Frankie being a bigger dude, that he's going to run over him. But in the same breath, that small stature of his, it almost gives you that Darren Sproles-esque type of movement in the backfield where nobody can see him and where he's going.
Look
You
at
know what I
that.
mean?
The way they
Yeah.
utilize him too is impressive.
Mm-hmm. Look at that patience. I love it. Oh my goodness. That's why I say he's underrated. Like he don't mind sticking his nose in there. You know what I mean? When it comes to pass blocking on some of the stuff I saw. But I just love his patience, man. I know some people will want a little bigger back, but hey, man, this guy's dynamic if you ask me.
No, he was electrifying when you watch him. You can obviously see how good he is and quick and fast he is. It's just at the next level. It's more so being of, can you be able to get off and shrug off those tackles with those bigger, heavier guys that are faster. And like the BYU, I think it was BYU that he went against, was
It's
not
BYU right now.
yeah.
What's
Yeah,
his age, DT?
you
Because
see how bad that defense. Nobody
Um,
touched him.
I think he's 24, 23, about to be 24. I think so.
I can look it up for you.
Yeah, I forgot his age because I got my notes in the house. I'm about to put up to the house after about 10 minutes. So, but yeah, I
He's
think
24 years old.
yep,
He,
24. That he's the one that a lot of scouts said they wish he may have had like 2 years younger in this process of where he's at now in his game. You know what I mean? He wasn't, I'm not going to say overused, but they don't like a 24-year-old back, some scouts and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I definitely think that he's like a third down back, somebody you can utilize in that sense. Just going off the definition of what John Kine provided, don't know if RJ Harvey fits that bill, but the talent is obviously there. I think he had like 24 touchdowns this year, which is astronomical and very much productive. And you can obviously see from here the speed and the agility on full display. And that's somebody that Cliff can work with, especially in the passing game, because he was a pretty good receiver.
I want to go back a little bit. Um, I might have to go back. All right, right here. This is a Cliff / Air Raid staple in our run game. This is called GT counter. Just look at the patience right there. Oh my god! Just look at the patience, y'all. That was insane. That was insane. Um, I like him. Like I see him as a Austin Eckler um replacement, to be the hair of.
I can
You
see
see this,
that.
you see the skill set and just patient right here. And he provides something we don't have. We don't have that home run ability to go from 0 to 50. And that's the biggest thing that people need to realize last year. Like the way we played offense with Jaden, it was a lot of 15, 16 play drives going for it on fourth down. That's not sustainable, Kylo. That's not sustainable as
It's
much.
not.
So you have to get more speed. You have to get some better playmakers. And Harvey is definitely someone I would consider to be a Washington Commander.
No, absolutely. And one thing I'll say about him is you obviously see the speed, you see the agility on full display. Um, it's what I question is obviously the pass pro, but that's something that Anthony Lynn can obviously develop on and work with. And I like his height in that sense because being able to hide behind the offensive line. I don't know if he's going to be able to create what he's able to create in college if things are meshed up and not wide open. I like him a lot. I do. And I watched him today and I came away saying, okay, I could work with this cat.
Now that is something I probably would say a little bit of the negative um in my scouting book right here. I put down that he will get run down from corners and safeties when he's in open field. So maybe he has somewhat of an afterburner exhaust at a certain point. Um,
And what I liked about what you said about the patience of his runs, one thing you take away from watching him is yes, he's patient, but he's not hesitant. Like when he's patient to see, once he sees it, it's through. He's not wasting any time. He's not going through it slow, like you said, 0 to 50. And that's what you really like about him. If it does, he doesn't wait for it to develop. If he sees it, he feels it and his instincts and seeing the colors. And as soon as he sees that green grass, he's through it and gone. And that's not something we truly have at the moment.
yeah. Shout out to the fellow sports rap. Is he a lead back or a complimentary scat back?
Got
I would definitely say the latter. I think he's more of a complimentary scat back. like he would be someone that has the same skill sets and do some of the same things that Auckland Eckler would do.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever because when Eckler was out, we did felt a little bit of his presence being missed just as much as when Brian Robinson went out, we did felt some type of presence being missed by both of those running backs.
Absolutely. We miss a little bit of the electricity, the explosion. And like Austin Eckler was huge in being that guy that just leaked out into situations and finding his way downfield and picked up some huge yardage. Like there were times when like we would be in our own territory, Austin would catch a pass or a run, and all of a sudden we're in field goal range. And you're like, oh, that was fast. And that's what Austin brings to you. And somebody like RJ Harvey could obviously do that for you. It's just like the whole definition of what they provide in saying a dynamic every down back, I don't think that links. Obviously, John Keim could be
That is
playing it
nasty.
for a fib. You know what I mean?
That is nasty.
Caleb.
That's so nasty. All right, let me go ahead and get the next guy up. All right, here we go.
Who is it?
All right, so let's go with one of your guys, Kyle. Let's talk about the Virginia Tech man, Tuten. What are your
Bhayshul
thoughts on
Tuten.
him?
Yeah, Bhayshul Tuten. This is so he has fumbling issues, which 100% I understand and I get. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for the young man of what he did, but at the same in the same breath, Bhayshul Tuten is electric. This is somebody that can make some, and he's very good at breaking tackles. He gets a lot of contact on him, but he's able to get through it. He's actually a pretty good pass blocker. You come away from it saying, okay, he's got good technique, gets his hands under, but breaking tackles and that separation of speed is something you really covet and love. Virginia Tech does produce good running backs. Is something that they have been consistent in doing. And I think Bhayshul Tuten fits the mold of your every down back based on what he did at Virginia Tech. He was the primary running back used on all three downs in short yardage, in the passing game, in pass pro, and just by run fits. He was the exact guy that they wanted and used. And that's why he fits the mold of the every down back. And it wouldn't have to be something that you invest a top 2-round pick in. This is somebody, if you were to trade back, you'd be able to get that home run hitter. And so I know everyone's going to harp on the fumbles and everything like that, but Brian Robinson didn't fumble in college and he fumbled in the pros. And there's a vice that you could flip flop it at times. And so it's just something that you can't really say. Like somebody right now, a draft prospect could not fumble, but then get fumbleitis in the pros. It happens. You know what I mean? And I think with Anthony Lynn, that's somebody that can work with him to be able to fix those issues.
Definitely. I actually remember him at North Carolina A&T, playing in the backyard of Greensboro, North Carolina. The speed definitely surprised me a little bit. I didn't really watch as much Virginia Tech games this year, but I know that from a lot of people in the area, because obviously Virginia had a lot of people talk about how Tuten had, if they had somewhat of not really knocking the O line, but he definitely should have had way more yards this year than what people expected. Based on what he is, he's by far one of the MVPs on that team for Virginia Tech this season.
Yeah, and look, Virginia Tech historically has done a poor job at being able to develop quarterbacks. And as of late, Virginia Tech has been in the mindset of what Washington was in the Rivera era, where just not being able to find a sustainable piece for you to build upon. And that's something that's hampered the rest of the team. But this year they did get good production out of him. And with Bhayshul, I think he does fit the mold of what you want overall out of a running back. And this is somebody that is capable of being able to play all three downs. I talked about the short yardage, the passing game, and the regular runs, but the fumbles are a thing. But if you're talking about dynamic all-around guy, he's the one that you're talking about. He's able to break through tackles, one of the best in yards after contact in the NCAA this year. And so you can almost say that in our offensive line, if you're not able to produce in the sense of being able to create that space, get me a back that is shown to be able to break tackles, to shed tackles on a consistent basis that is long term. And that's something that Bhayshul Tuten obviously possesses, just showing you.
Man. Whoo. He showed he can be physical too. He don't let the
Exactly.
speed.
That's what I'm talking about. The every down back, he fits that mold, and he also adds the dynamic aspect to it. But that's why we have Anthony Lynn here to be RB's coach to help in this sort of regard.
And that's against Rutgers. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm saying, man, every down back, he fits the mold.
Man, look at man. You just talking about you just said he ain't getting caught like KJ. I mean, make your mind up, man. Eat your porridge, man.
He's got someone else in mind.
He kind of reminds me. He reminds me of Tahj Spears if he ran a 4.2.
Okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I didn't watch much of Tahj last year. I knew that we weren't going running back. Yeah, and that's something, Mitch, that's something I've heard a lot of Tech fans talk about, saying that they depended on him all season long to bail them out, especially the offensive line. And he obviously did that. But the good thing for us is that he did fumble a lot, which means we don't have to invest a high value pick on him. And so he could fall to you a little bit later where you could still divulge assets into edge, possibly corner, safety, and or wide receiver, and still get somebody like him who has that home run hitting and is a dynamic every down back.
Where do you think Tuten will get drafted?
Third, fourth round.
Yeah, third or fourth round. I think the highest could be
Second.
Second.
Late second at the highest.
Here's the example. Yes, he played with a lesser performing offensive line, and he balled out.
That's what I was talking about right there.
Definitely balled out. All right. Next guy up. Let's go ahead with one of my guys. So this guy, I have him going day 3 of the NFL draft, and actually, I kind of want to play trivia to you, Kyle.
Okay. Let's do it.
Since 2023, who has had the most 100-yard games in college football? I'll give you 2 hints.
Okay.
The person is projected to be day 3, and his counterparts are projected as first rounders.
You said counterparts?
Yes. So it's 2 that are projected to go to the first round, and he is projected to go on day 3.
This can't be an Ohio State running back.
It is not an Ohio State running back.
Is it DJ?
You're close. They're in the same conference, but it's not DJ Giddens.
All right, who is it?
I'm going to speak the name of Tahj Brooks.
Oh. Okay.
Tahj Brooks is my favorite day 3 running back in this draft class. And when I stumbled upon him 2022. One of the years he started getting some snaps and things like that, and just the contact balance, everything. He is the all-time leading rusher at Texas Tech. Dude is a monster, man.
So I haven't, just to be honest, I haven't watched Tahj Brooks. So this is the first time seeing of him. So I want you to narrate this for me.
All right, let's go ahead and get my notes for you. So Tahj Brooks, I feel excited. Can't wait to let y'all know about this guy, man. Oh, wrong page, wrong page, wrong page. All right, Tahj Brooks. He's 5'9", 225 to 230 pounds. Now the only difference between all the other guys in here, he's not a home run hitter, but
Okay.
when I see him and his skill set, it reminds me of a former Washington Redskin running back, and that reminds me much just like Alfred Morris. The only difference is he plays more in a run gap scheme. You see some of the guy power plays right here, and he has a quick enough twitch to get to the outside and make plays out the backfield. His contact balance is ridiculous. He has forced 235 missed tackles in
Hmm.
all his years in college football. He's one of my favorite day three running backs.
I almost when you were saying a former Washington running back, I was almost thinking Chris Thompson, just giving his height and speed and agility to break through things, create things for himself like that.
Yeah, if he had Chris Thompson's speed, he definitely a
Yeah,
day two guy.
yeah. I love the ability, the yards after contact, what you talked about, and the missed tackles, and that's exactly what you could say can translate for this offense. Because I can't guarantee that we'll be able to give him in space, but if you have somebody that's proven to be able to break tackles to create their own play, that's somebody that I know that his name. I think she interviewed him and he talked about wanting to go to Washington.
Yeah, K Adams.
Kay Adams, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
Cliff connection.
Yes, and so obviously Cliff is just like Adam Peters with Femi Oladejo being former UCLA, having a love interest there. You could definitely see Cliff having that same mindset. My whole thing is with Cliff's best year in running the football with Kyler Murray at Arizona was with James Conner and what's his name? My goodness, I can't think of it right now. Was it Kenyon Drake? No, who
Kenya
was?
was there. Yep, Kenya was there.
Okay, so like, is that really screaming home run hitter when you talk about James Conner and company? He definitely wants that fire and ice aspect to the running game, and so maybe, and like I don't know if the home run being able to actually explode for the not being touched or getting hawked. I'm not sure if that's really that much of a necessity for this offense. Do you have the agility to break tackles? And I think that he possesses that. I wouldn't poo-poo it because then we're not divulging a high value asset into him, and that you could get him in later rounds, and that's somebody that obviously has been fruitful.
I'm kind of glad you mentioned James Conner because there is a running back that is also similar to him.
Oh, look who we have here.
What up, Deuce?
2 running backs. I'm on the train.
Oh, he's on the train, y'all.
2 running backs. That's my take.
Come on, dudes. Hey, this is another one of my guys right here. This is another one of my guys, man. We know DQ and staff. They love these 5-year guys. You know what I mean? Experienced guys. He's a 5-year guy. Back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons. Hey, man, this guy's elusive, man. He make you miss. He make you miss inside that hole. Another one. Now, when it comes to pass blocking, he can pass block. Tahj Brooks can pass block, man. Coming from a similar system. Didn't see too many of the what you call it? What's our pull and play called? DT the
GT counters.
Yeah, GT counters. I didn't
Not
see
as
too many of that with them, but I like the fact that this guy, you know, he shows patience, and once he sees it, he hits it, bro. This dude is good, man. This is the class. You looking for a back? You don't got to get the top 2 because number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on how you want to rank them, can step right into any team and become an everyday down contributor, man. So this is another guy that I love, man. 1,500 yards back-to-back seasons. I think even though he's 23, I think he's just, you know, really hitting his ceiling, man. Like not ceiling, but scratching it. You know what I mean? Getting it.
Getting it.
What's up, Deuce?
What's good, man? How y'all feeling?
Man, cool, man.
Good.
A lot better now.
Well,
We got into the film. I learned some things. Got to see some more. I wish I could have seen his pass blocking. Like nobody produces highlights of pass blocking unless you're TreyVeyon Henderson.
Yeah.
You know what I would do, Kyle. What I do is I go look and try to find film of the quarterback or wide
Okay.
receivers. That
Okay.
way you can kind of see them in pass pro.
Well, there's so many running backs in this. I didn't have a chance to look at him, and honestly, it's just been such a crazy work week that I haven't been able to look at running backs as much as I should have. So whatever DT just produced is what I was able to watch. So I got to do my due diligence. Probably lose some sleep, but it's worth it.
Or you could do another mysterious health issue and go to the and go to the emergency room.
Dude, I had that whole week off. I produced so much film during that week.
How was the Master, Smokey?
Hey, man, Roy won in the playoff, man. Hey, man, that thing. Hey, I thought he was about to let that thing go. He eventually, came back, held on, and won in the playoffs. So shout out to Rory getting his first Masters, man. A lot of people was against him though for some reason. I don't know why. I'm a golf casual. You know what I mean? I'm worse than a casual when it comes to golf.
People say, man, that dude DT sound like the beginning of a Madden game when the power first come on. Sound like John Madden.
Who said that? That's nasty. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead to everybody's other underdog running back, Cam Skattebo.
Oh, it's Casper's turn.
Okay.
Dude, well, all right, before we start, I just want to say with Cam Skattebo, when it came out that John Kimes tweeted about the every down back that's dynamic, Cam Skattebo is what came to mind, and literally everyone was attacking me for saying, like, how could you, with TreyVeyon Henderson available, Marion Hampton, how could you go with Cam Skattebo? My whole point being is he was used as an every down back. Literally, the only time he came off the field was when he was tired and they brought the other guy in. He's shown that he could pass block, and he is phenomenal at breaking tackles because of his low center of gravity and pad level. One of the great clips that I saw was against Arizona, where the Arizona DB literally tried to break his leg after he tackled him. Literally tried to pull his leg up as he's sitting on his leg, trying to. And that speaks to the physicality and the fact that his opponents hate him. And that kind of toughness, physical ability is what this offense direly needs. Ooh. Dude,
he reminds me of MJD, man. Like
this guy has a
bigger
stat,
lower
man.
half. If he had a bigger lower half, that'd be a match on match makeup with MJD, man.
And what he lacks in top speed, he makes up for in agility and shiftiness. I think that's one thing that he's not given enough credit for, it being able to just be able to break out of things. And if you can break tackles, the shiftiness, the low center of gravity, I can work with that, man.
He reminds me a little bit of Rice, too. I don't know why I want to say Roy Rice, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Ray Rice. Yeah.
And he has a stat in one game where he broke 12 tackles for 262 yards.
That's insane, man.
And that was a SEC, lower SEC competition, Mississippi State, but still, like, man.
This is Riggins, bro.
Yeah, I like him.
I think the most surprising skill set he has is how underrated as a receiver he is out in the backfield. There was one play when in the comeback against Texas where he was one-on-one against a defensive back and he literally catches it with one hand. Like, he is a underrated pass catcher in the backfield as well.
Cam Skattebo, goodness gracious. He is putting these dudes on skates.
Yeah, he can be lost in the screen game for sure. You get those tall guys out in front of him. He definitely can get lost out there, be able to break a couple.
One rebuttal I got after putting that out there, like I was standing on the table for this guy, which was what wasn't the case. It was just the first guy that came to mind. We were talking about every down back that's dynamic. That's Cam Skattebo and how he was utilized. But like the one rebuttal I got was that in the pros, he's not going to be able to break those tackles because he doesn't have the speed to be able to break those tackles. Well,
that makes absolutely no sense.
What I said to him is, I'm sure they said the same thing about him in high school, saying that he wasn't going to break those tackles in college, but now he's doing it in college. My whole point being is, if you have the low center of gravity, which he obviously does, if you have the shiftiness to be able to maneuver and move out of blocks and continue to have that low center of gravity throughout that strong young lower body, you can be able to power. And like, let's not act like the NFL is full of phenomenal tacklers.
Look at the patience.
I think that this kid can translate to the NFL, and that's somebody that notches the checkbox of what John Keim's tweet was: is the dynamic every down back.
Yeah, he's
I mean, how many games he has against like the better echelon of the NCAA?
look at his bowl game against Texas. Oh my goodness.
I think that was the tipping point right there
Yeah.
against Texas, and they were the top 5 defense in college football last year, and he literally carried them.
You got any of that, DT?
Any of the Texas game?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can help you find some and I'll put it on the back end.
Yeah, there was a couple of clips up there. I'm gonna have to.
One thing I will say about him though is that he needs more refinement in his pass protection. He does have good plays that can show you what he can do, but it's not like it is consistent all the time. So if there's any knock on him, I would say it's not on speed. It's much more so on his pass pro and being able to be good in that sense. Because one pass block that you miss in the pros could be the end of the game.
I got some. And we've probably seen a couple of clips already. But this was against the top 5 defense in college football.
And they were blocking. Oh my goodness.
They were down by 20 points, and he brought them all the way back. He literally carried them the whole game.
There's no space there.
Hold on, go back real quick. Let me see that formation, DT. Hold on, go back. Like pause.
They have everybody up front.
I'm trying to see what the personnel. Okay, so wide receivers. That's a tight end. Okay.
And number 0 for the Texas is a dog.
They are blocking, boy.
Yeah.
Hopefully they got that pass play up there.
Oh, he throw touchdown passes too?
Yep.
He threw a touchdown pass against Texas.
Yeah, Alfred Collins is going to be a high round pick too as a defensive lineman.
Dang, Smokey, 42 passing yards, 143 rushing yards, 99 receiving yards, 1 touchdown,
Dude.
2 rushing. Like when people say, well, I don't know about this or if he can do this, go find a game against a top defense and tell me how he performed. This is Texas, top 5 defense, 42 passing yards, 143 rushing yards, 99 receiving yards, a passing touchdown, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So tell me he can't play in the NFL.
Yeah. And Deuce, where were you? Well, you could have came to my defense on Twitter.
I probably was in my own battles.
I was getting dragged.
They're going to similar formation again.
Yeah.
Motion the guy.
That's Debo in motion. I like it. Look at 15. I mean 16.
Got carried, yo. There it is. Here's the play.
He caught that?
He caught that. Insane. He caught that, y'all.
Man,
I'm going all the way back. Boom.
Twitter fiends had me second guessing myself.
He caught that, man.
They should zoom out more. We need to see more of the crowd.
Yeah.
Seems like they run some RPO too, Smokey.
Yeah, definitely ran some RPO.
Smokey in there. Down that zone.
Put him in timeout. We do have to give her. I do have to say, Telly was like the first one that I heard talking about Cam Skattebo. So respect to Telly.
Mm-hmm. And then Trail ran with it. That's all he talk about now.
Dude, I'm telling. If you want that Riggins, I know that Dan Quinn has said, I know our history and we're trying to replicate it. And like I'm telling,
hey, Cal, that's probably why, Cal. Like you got to stop saying Riggins, Cal.
I know.
You gotta stop saying Riggins. You gotta stop saying Riggins, Kyle.
I not the Riggins aspect, but I mean is like the physical
Yeah.
what he presence that he brought to the
Yeah.
offense. And that's what Cam Skattebo brings to you is that physicality, that toughness.
I just wonder what it is in pass blocking, though, because I think that's one thing. Whoever they get is going to have to be at least an adequate pass blocker.
Yeah.
He's adequate is a good way of describing it. He does need refinement in that area, but it's not like he is a liability like Omarion Hampton.
All right.
How would you feel if he was the 61st pick?
That might be a little. It depends who's left on the board, man.
Yeah.
Like
if they get the edge in the first round, then I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Well, which edge?
One of my favorites, of course.
Like
I have
which one? Like Pierce, Donovan.
Donovan E.
Yeah, that's
Mike,
if either one of them get the 29, I think Cam Skattebo is probably not going to be the BPA as far as running back at 61. I think TreyVeyon Henderson might be there. A couple other players I think will be there too when he's up. If Pierce or Donovan gets to 29, it was some sort of a run that I don't think included running backs.
Well, so if a TreyVeyon there, Judkins there, and a Skattebo there, and they walked up and said Skattebo, that means AP liked him more than them two guys, right?
Most definitely. He's higher on their board, no doubt.
Right.
Judkins is in the passing game. He's not a very good pass catcher. He's more of like your short yardage kind of guy that's able to.
He's a power back. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Not bad for throwing it off. But
if we draft him, dude, I'm gonna be relentless on Twitter.
All right. The need for speed. Dylan Samson.
Ooh.
What we got on me, y'all?
5'11". But not 5'11". About 5'9", 5'10". About 205. What I got? 5'9", 5'10", 205. Runs about a 4.44, 4.42, something like that. This guy's young, man. I think he's only 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't even scratched the surface yet. His player comp is Alvin Kamara. I understand same college and things of that nature.
Okay.
If you could give me an Alvin Kamara, especially the earlier days of Alvin Kamara, and Alvin Kamara still had a decent season this past season. But man, that is a weapon. But is Alvin Kamara? I feel like Alvin Kamara was better used when he had a guy beside him. You know what I mean? Like a Mark Ingram and things of that nature. So is that guy beside him a B-Rob? Or is that guy beside him a Eckler? And I think he's more in that Eckler realm of things, but way more elusive than the Eckler. But yeah, this guy, man, to get a guy that's 20, ooh.
The lighter frame in pass pro can be serviceable for him in college. I just think in the NFL it might be a detriment, so he does need refinement there. Mm-hmm. But when you watch Tennessee, you know that he is an every down back for them, and he does a good job given his size.
With Tennessee offense, they run an offense like no other. I mean, they literally put wide receivers at the bound. I mean, when I talk about boundary, I mean they like literally touching the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see that too much in the NFL game. You know what I mean? So
rarely ever.
Yeah, so that's one little concern if you ask me.
I think he has been as though like this is why I don't think B-Rob goes anywhere. I don't think Eckler goes anywhere. With someone like him, like your concerns that you may have, Kyle, like pass protection, things like that. Like I think that's why you would keep these guys around.
Yeah,
is to be able to give him time to develop, while still getting them, a good amount of touches every game. But in certain situations, he might not be out there. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that go ahead. Yeah. So if you get him, I think you still got time to develop. Like Smokey was saying, like he need a complimentary guy along with him, not only just for his frame, for him to develop more to an NFL back, but just for and the small minute things we don't think about, like pass blocking.
I agree with you. I liked what I saw from him. Because with his size, what he was able to do in pass pro, was like he was very motivated to go up and block. It wasn't like he was just trying to get out of it just by making something happen. You know, like he was obviously invested into it. And for his size, I thought that was commendable. It's just my concern.
Another
But
sneaky
obviously, that's
step
something, like
for
you
him.
said, he can develop.
Yeah, another sneaky step. 929 of his 1491 came after contact. That's way more than half of his yards. Like,
because I don't think they don't really have fullback in their offense, do they? Smoke?
But now they use
a tight end
as
usually.
Use a tight end.
They use
Yeah.
tight end.
On the wham blocks.
That kind of contributes because sometimes, like especially with this type of offense, it's stretched so wide. Uses it's like you're gonna have to make somebody miss.
See, they pulled what? They pulled on that
They
last
pulled
play.
They
pulled
guys.
two. Yeah. I don't know if it was
Who's that, a
offset.
tight end?
If you want to go back
That's
like
a
a
tight
play
end
or
right
two,
there.
BT,
What you say?
if you wanted to go back like a play or two, I think it was like when they not that one. Hold on, maybe it's a little further. Hold on.
It's just like this is a guy. Skattebo is a guy. Like these are guys that
Yes, after this play.
we might be so like these type of guys. We'll be like, huh. I'm not surprised they went with him.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah, they pulled backside. Ooh. Hey, man, when 63 ain't got nobody to hit to the 5-yard line, that's crazy.
I do think his pass blocking needs some work, especially weight wise. When people come into contact with him, he doesn't have the necessary strength to redirect them into a way where it can protect the quarterback from completing the pass or taking an unnecessary hit.
Correct.
And I do think he has special team ability. I think he can return it. Just he wasn't really asked to return as much, so maybe that will also be something he'll have to do in the NFL as well.
And we have to your point, DT. We have a need at punt returner
and kick return.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like if we don't grab a running back with the first pick, that late second, if we don't decide to move back and get another third, these are the type of guys that's going to be there. But not having that third, man, it's something. Yes,
we need
might
it.
reach for somebody.
I think that's when the run going to happen. Like that late second, early third is going to happen on these. Like I say, your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th running back.
That's what I did yesterday. But when you asked what I trade back for, I moved back 4 spots, which took me out of the second to pick up that top of the third and got Junkins, and picked up an extra 4th.
Oh,
so that might be something that we may see depending on who's there on the board.
Yeah.
But if we don't get a running back with the first 2 picks and don't make no moves, I think we'll still be okay in the 4th round. He may. I don't think he'll be there. It just depends how people look at them.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just depends what people looking for. Well, you put a Alvin Kamara tag and a Raheem Moser. I seen somewhere else somebody had they gave him another comp. Nick Chubb comp. Like you seen all types of comps with him. So yes, Curtis Martin I saw. I don't see the Nick Chubb thing.
Yeah, the Nick Chubb thing is weird.
Oh no, my bad. That was Junkins.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But they got Curtis Martin. I haven't seen Curtis Martin run in a long time. So
haven't heard that name in a while.
Oh boy. All right, the next guy up is what everybody in the comments is screaming. Yeah, we did RJ Harvey. He was the first one we did.
Yep.
DJ Giddens, running back out of Kansas State.
Whose pick was this?
Like a lot of us put him on there. Well, I know me and Radar, I think.
ain't the room to get him, but I do love him.
I like how he wasn't used on all 3 downs, but I did like what he produced.
He's been
I
getting
mean,
steam lately.
he attacks the hole like AP. I ain't gonna cap. The way he gets up in that, the way when he approaches that hole, bro.
The reason
Pause.
why Charlotte gonna be undrafted.
Man, what happened? What you say? You said Shiloh going undrafted.
Did you see what he did to Shiloh?
Oh no, I wasn't even looking. I thought that was just like out the ballpark.
Every ankle is a check he ain't gonna get.
Yeah, he's not a receiving back. He's more typically your first, second down
Oh my
back.
God!
This kid, man.
Yeah, he good though. He good. I like him. He's typically the first, second down back. So he's a guy that would be in competition with B-Rob. Like real life. Like
Look
that's
how he
who he
pressed the
is.
hole, Smokey.
Yeah, he's good. I like his size too. 6'2", 6'1", almost 6'1", little over 6 feet, almost 6'1", about 215-ish. I like his
about
size.
215, 216.
Yeah.
It's the cuts. It's the
Yeah.
cuts, man.
And to be that size to run a 4.4, like I say, he's not your typical receiving back. They don't use him a lot on third downs, but ooh, look at that! You see how he got skinny? That's what we call him, skinny.
See, that was my big question, Smoke.
Oh no, go back to that. Go back to that.
They didn't use him
you.
on third downs, and that was my big question mark. Like, why isn't he being used as a bell cow?
Mm-hmm.
This is what people mean when they say running backs get skinny.
Yep, that low pad level.
That is crazy. And runs like this with Robinson, we were begging him to do that, and we did not see that. He has the ability to do that.
Ooh, he played 18 touch the ground.
He's getting hitting.
Hold on, go back to that.
I'm going back to that. He is getting the hitting yardage that we were begging for last year.
Watch this. It's coming up next. Watch this.
Pause the
Bang.
DT.
Ooh.
Oh, go back and pause it right before he hit the hole. People want to know the difference. All right, pause it. Well, just a little bit before that. Like, this is what I think the difference is between a running back that really doesn't have great vision is like B-Rob runs straight to 92.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the difference be having great vision and okay vision. B-Rob runs straight to 92.
We do got to give credit to 69 there.
It looks like 75 is blocking him where he was going. Hold on. Let me. Between that or between 92 and 75? Oh, he went in between them. Okay, he read it. 75 kicked out.
Yeah, without a doubt, you could give him credit for those instincts of feeling that block.
Yeah, because he couldn't get there. Like that O-line could not. That guy couldn't get. It would have been a hold or a block in the back.
Yeah,
or something. He couldn't get there.
Yeah, you know what? Pause, Derek. Pause on that, bro.
What'd he say? He hits every hole. Dude said something similar earlier.
Yeah, man, we left that in 2024. 2024, man. It'll come back around in like 3 more years. I'm sure.
But he gets the hitting yardage, bro.
And this is the thing, like everybody wants somebody that's gonna take it for 50. Like it ain't a lot of people that could do that. Get you somebody that could take it for 35, get tackled, get back up, take it for 15 the next one.
Where you at? There you go.
That one right there. Go back to
that. I'm sorry.
That kid is not good.
Well, can you go right before the
Oh, Lord God,
my
in the
God.
name of Jesus, I pray to you this day that no one saw that on tape. That's what he's doing. He praying. That's exactly what he's doing.
Oh my God. That is so nasty, bro.
And look at the
and to stay on his feet for that. Oof.
Yeah, I like him.
I see day 2 with him.
Yeah, second, third round. Yeah.
Oh,
That move was, oh man.
oh.
Twice. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yo.
Yeah, not so much 20+ yard rushes. I mean, some fans want people they want them to take it. Like
To the
I'm
house.
cool with 20+. Like
Right.
I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? Like break some. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not gonna take it to the house, man. It's not how it works.
Please, I will cook.
He's not impressed.
I will
Unc
cook
is not
you.
impressed. So what we got? What we got against better defenses? I mean, Unc got a point. Like you want to be able to see this type things against better defenses.
This the Big 12 we talking about. When has the Big 12 ever had defense?
Yeah.
Do
That's
better,
true.
Unc. You know what I mean? Big 12 used to be
one thing I can say.
games.
One thing I can say, like, and I know, like we talked about this earlier. You want to look at prospects, against better defenses or better offenses. But at the same time, if you don't have that tape available, what are they doing to the defenses that's not as good? Are they demolishing them or are they barely getting by? Right? Because if they're demolishing them, then you can take it for, oh yeah, this kid is good.
Right.
Like this kid is true. But if he's getting tackled in the backfield against this DV, like, I don't know. But look what he's doing to him. Like look what he's doing to these defenses.
Did he go to like he's not a senior, is he? Did he go to the Senior Bowl?
Not to my knowledge.
No, he's a junior. He's a 3-year player. Yep.
Oh, tell Unc if he wants to see him get some real comp, pull up 2022 against Alabama.
There you go, Alabama 2022. But see, Unc, everyone doesn't have that. Like everyone doesn't play those games.
Unc ain't got his prune juice yet.
That's nasty.
He ain't got his prune juice, man. He up here talking, man. Go ahead, watch.
Grouchy. Grouchy.
He in the night, song, dog. All right, trying to pull the next guy up. I don't think we did none of Radar. Let's pull up some. It's a guy that Radar put in. I had to go back and check him out this morning. Right. Oh, I gotta go all the way back up.
Was it Brashad?
Donovan Edwards.
Ew, man.
No.
Okay, it's this kid, LaQuint Allen.
Oh, Syracuse.
LaQuint Allen out of Syracuse. I watched a couple of clips this morning.
Did he write some notes?
I actually got some notes right here.
Okay.
I think and now correct me if I'm wrong. My nephew crying in the background, in case y'all didn't know that.
I see one fumble in 524 carries. That's good.
Look at that pass pro.
They use him in the passing game too, man.
I'm about to say, what a running plays at. This is a passing back? I like it.
He's one of the best.
Yeah, they passed a lot with isn't that Kyle McCord?
Yeah.
Yeah, they passed a lot with Kyle McCord this year.
Dude, his game against Pittsburgh is one of the worst I've ever seen a quarterback play.
I'm trying to find the RB clips for y'all.
They say scheme versatility. He thrived in both gap and zone systems, showing patience and burst when holes develop. So multifaceted. Some of his weaknesses. Not too many weaknesses. That's a good thing.
We do TreyVeyon Henderson next.
That kid, man. Now this draft can go so many crazy ways, bro. Oh my goodness.
They used him in the passing game. That's what's something that I love when I watched them.
Who you talking about, DT?
LaQuint.
LaQuint. Oh, yeah. That's what it seems like.
Yeah,
They trust him to pass block.
he had 64 receptions this season, 521
It's still
yards, 4
showing.
touchdowns.
I'm going to
All right.
rewind it. Let me
That should have
rewind
been
it
a
for y'all.
touchdown.
It's right here.
Look at that
So he
route.
took over after the back that's
Whoa.
in Tampa. I can't think of his name. The back that was in Syracuse.
What you call
that
those?
played for
Angle?
Tampa now.
Yeah.
Angle routes.
Those are angle routes, right? Yeah.
Or a check route.
Gotta find some. I don't see no. I
He
don't see,
run.
I
Ooh,
don't
He
see no
picked up the
running play.
blitz.
Hey, he a good pass blocker. Tell you
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
picked
is.
that thing up.
Look, Caleb, I ain't putting your comment up there, Caleb. You supposed to be on YouTube.
I'm trying
I'm
to find
showing
the.
yours, Caleb.
Trying to find the him running. I don't see no rushing highlights.
Man, it's a chance we might. It was a draft. I saw a mock yesterday that had Genty at 14 to who was that?
I thought that's the Dolphins pick. The
Was that the
Dolphins got
Dolphins?
14.
Mm.
The Colts. The
Colts.
Yeah,
Damn.
I saw Genty go to the Colts.
Oh.
Go to the
What they doing
Colts
with
and they
Jonathan
got.
Taylor?
Yeah. I mean, well, he getting, you know.
Apparently the
Taylor
Colts
gonna
are
be a
looking
draft day
for.
trade.
Yeah.
Apparently they're looking for a second to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. There you go.
I think
Hey,
you can wait.
Telly. Hey, Telly. Hey, man. I don't know, man. I might be on the train, gang. I might be on the train.
64 receptions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So PFF graded him as the 74th out of 444. They say Allen lacks the agility to project as a starting caliber runner, but his receiving background, long arms, massive hands, and willingness and pass protection make him a strong day 3 candidate as a third down specialist. 6 foot, 201 pounds. He's only 20 years old.
Let me ask you this. Does he do special teams? Does he return?
If with the receiving background, you'd have to say that operating in space and catching is not going to be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to think about it a little more. But look, because like I've watched a couple mocks and I'm gonna do a lot this week. I'm gonna do like a running back mock, a linebacker mock, et cetera, et cetera. And I was thinking, man, come on, Smokey, man, 6 rounds. It's tough, BPA, man.
It is.
BPA gonna be tough. If you gonna go BPA, bro, it might especially if you grab one early, right? Like if they grab one in the first or the second, I think when you get to the 6, a complimentary BPA
is more first, second round. Anything after that is like you trying to fit a need, you know what I mean? Or you like this guy, you really want to see what he got, but
check this out though. And those picks are also built for the future. Developmental players. I don't have no running backs under contract next year.
Or receivers, right?
Yeah, or receivers, but Luke.
This against Miami.
Yeah, this against Miami.
This is real tricky. Like I watched the DQ interview earlier with Alex Smith and Shane Battier. Have y'all seen that?
Woo.
Now he was on a podcast with him, right?
Yeah, it was like 45 minutes long.
Yeah, Alex Smith and Shane Battier got a podcast. It's weird.
Yeah,
they talk about
it's very weird, but it was very good though. It was.
I gotta listen to it.
They've really gotten the inside of DQ's head. Like it was one part where Alex Smith basically said, like Trail saying, words matter, and DQ. I think it was Shane Battier was saying like how he chooses certain words. So what came to my mind was instead of saying rebuild, he used recalibration. Instead of saying, when they asked him about the roster, he said we got a core group of guys that can fit to the identity of basically the way we want it. So like that plays into the psyche of these players.
Yeah, it's gonna be competition everywhere.
Yeah, so that really I advise people to look at it. It was pretty good, man. But it was just a weird combination.
Hating.
Telly, I love you. You're big as hell. All I'm saying is I understand what you're saying, and I get it. My point being is with only 5 picks, I don't think it is incredibly smart to double dip. I think that what you can do is you can grab one as an UDFA and to be able to add to other areas. You can, yes, you're adding 2 running backs, but using the draft picks, 2 of them on a running back, I think might be negligent.
Mhm.
Let's say we go no trade, right? We go edge, running back, wide receiver with the 4th pick,
I can stay on Twitter.
the 6th and 7th pick. Where do you go, position wise?
I think
Interior
tight
O
end
line
and corner.
and then
No, hold on now. Now, tight end is the same predicament as the running back.
Yeah.
True.
If you think about it, it's the same predicament as a running back. So tight end is same thing as a running back. Like you have 3, you have starters, you even have 2 of those under contract for the next 3 years, right?
100%.
So that's the same thing as running back.
But
right?
I would put the caveat in there that we don't have a backup to John Bates who can block.
Yeah,
And
but is he well actually, like, I don't think Sin is definitely not a better blocker. I think he's a better blocker now than when he was when he came into the league.
yeah,
I think he showed that he could be a better. So I don't think you draft tight end to fill a backup behind Bates when you have
no. But my mindset being is I want to create that physical ability up front and being able to move people around. And if you were having an elephant package with John Bates and another one that can block really well, like a CJ Dippre or Jackson Hawes from Georgia Tech, you would be creating a very tough physical with that running back you added. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like my whole point being is like John Bates is a huge part of our offense. And if something were to happen to him, that blocking aspect, you'd have to change things. And so I'm am very much invested because we do have the pass catchers, very much invested in making sure that we have that blocking element in there.
I mean, when we did go that Trent Scott was that guy.
Yep.
Right.
We
Right.
did that a
So,
lot
like,
early in the
Ain't gonna
season.
lie.
Yeah, Trent Scott was that guy. So I don't think it's enough. I don't think we did it enough to grab a 6. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, all right, so let's say tight end is a wash, right? You know, we can talk about that. You got wide receiver, which makes sense, right? But this would be the second wide receiver you take. So it's kind of like the same predicament as the running backs, right?
Correct. And also you could say DT. If you're going best player available, the defensive tackle depth in this class is astronomical along with running back.
Yep, but the same thing as DT.
Yes, absolutely.
It's kind of in the same prediction. Smokey, stop looking. Masters is gone off. I need you to pay Coach Kid. I need you to stop pushing me, Smoke. This is not a push take, Smoke. I need you to pay attention to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
I need you to pay attention to what I'm saying.
Last argument I'll make for you, Deuce, is in regard to DT. What was our issue last year? Was our issue in was it being able to score points, or was it being able to stop?
Stop the run.
Yeah. And that's why I would say that adding in the trenches with BPA defensively is very much necessary.
Yeah.
Contrary to 2 running backs. Does that make sense? I know it's the same argument.
I would say interior O line and cornerback. If it was the last 2, interior O line, cornerback.
But even corner, it's like I wouldn't mind doing any of those, right? But as far as the 6th pick, because I'm not even talking about the 7th, because I'm going kick. But the 6th pick is anything that you take with the 6th pick will end up being in the same type of predicament as taking another running back. The only difference is you're actually taking 2 running backs. As far as like your roster format or your roster setup is, like even with a cornerback, right? You got what? 1 guy under contract for the next few years, right? I mean, you have, Lattimore got 2 years. Will Smith, he got a 1 year, right, Harris? All them guys got 1 years, right?
Yes.
Jonathan Jones and all them.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
This is
I'm gonna work on it a little more. I'm gonna work on it. Tally, call me, Tally. We're gonna work on this.
I'm going to combat this. I wouldn't say draft 2 running backs, but in my opinion, I'll
He
probably
said
go this
smoking
route.
past the test.
I'll probably draft 2 edge rushers.
Look, and we just like and like that's the thing. I wouldn't even be mad at that. But the same thing, you could make the same argument on the flip side to say, hey, look, we just signed these guys. We signed guys to play the 5 technique, right? Like we have edges. They might not be pass rush edges specifically, but we have them.
It's true.
You can apply the same thing to the running back room.
Can I
But
ask a question? Oh, go ahead,
Sure.
DG. I'll ask a question after this. Go ahead, DG.
we're also in this slight conundrum because 3 of our last 4
Look at
first
this Rams
rounders.
fan always trying to tell us what we need.
Y'all need health and prayer. Cause last time we played y'all. 3 of our last 4 first rounders were added to the defense, and they're no longer on the team. That was an edge rusher, a linebacker, and a corner. That's no longer on the team. So we don't.
Competent people was picking them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think edge.
We have
first
edges,
round,
but we don't have edges that are locked in for the future outside of maybe 2.
And we are massively lacking in speed from a defensive end standpoint.
Yep.
Massively.
So would you get 2 speed edge rushers?
I still think that's too much stockpile because I still think you need to be able to have a Bobby Wagner replacement. Because we're talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been screaming that.
Yeah.
So
So you might be able to do that. Like you got McGee. I don't know, Dominique Hampton gonna be that strong safety or line, whatever they're gonna do with him. Well, like you don't have anything really behind that.
So to argue with Telly, sorry, Telly, I know I don't want you to take this over, but Telly, with the Cowboys, they had Micah Parsons, and that quick speed rush forced quarterbacks to throw bad, not incomplete, but inaccurate footballs, which led to turnovers. Joe Witt was screaming about turnovers in the middle of the season last year. Every team I've been on produced turnovers. This one hasn't. Going into last year, I said we were lacking that speed rush. 100%, obviously, what's his face? Dante Fowler did a great job. He went back to the Cowboys. God bless him. But we right now, as much as we do have those edge guys, we are seriously lacking that speed rush because that helps everybody else out.
Well, Mitch,
we got 5 technique guys.
Yeah, we had. They're just run 5s.
Yes.
Yeah.
They not pass 5s. Like we have them, Mitch. They just run 5s. Look, I do have a question. I was kind of thinking about earlier with the edges. Can James Pierce turn into a Louisville Parsons type player?
The burst off the line, in length. You say he has the speed capability.
Yeah.
But being an absolute force and creating the fear on offense, I don't think so.
I mean, because we didn't think like Micah wasn't Micah until they made him Micah.
I was screaming at everyone. Look, I was arguing with everyone about Jamin Davis, trying to explain to them that Micah was really an edge rusher, not a linebacker, and so it wasn't comparable between them. I'm telling you from the get-go, I was screaming this at everybody. Nobody wanted to believe me. But I know. Look, I know we are. But the fact is, I would put Mike Green and Donovan E in that scenario of the Micah type guys.
I think Donovan is more of a I don't think Micah is a great run defender. I think
he's not.
Man, Donovan, man.
He's not. But I'm just saying that being able to be used in that way where they used all over.
Micah had no position.
I know we running back.
Well, he came in as a linebacker.
He
did. Middle linebacker.
What was the Josh Johnson signing for?
This is so nasty, bro.
Why did we sign Josh Johnson, Deuce?
Who?
Josh Johnson. Why?
I mean, because I mean, the dude, like, as a spot starter, these last few years, like he came and gave a little spot.
Well, can I answer this for Deuce
I
Smokey?
mean, he came and got a little spark. I hate to say
I
he
know
can
they
do
say
the
we need
things
90, but
he can do the
man,
things that Jaden can do. He can't do the things that Jaden can do,
What-
but he can
what-
attempt it. I guess.
The reason why we signed Josh Johnson is because he has a similar makeup to Marcus Mariota, similar skill set to what Jaden and Mariota bring, and being able to run the RPO. With Jeff Driscoll, it's kind of like the JV version of that, and it's just more so of him knowing Cliff's system. So what Josh Johnson would bring you is that you wouldn't have to change the offense if it were to come to him having to play. And I think that's the reason why they signed him, and also possibly one of them could be trade bait if a team runs into quarterback issues.
Okay.
And they had a number that Driscoll didn't like.
Yeah.
AP had a number. Hey, look, this is the number, and we're not moving. So that's fine. I really think, I think AP goes into the offseason with positional numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Third quarterback, I don't care what the name is. This is the number. Fourth cornerback, I don't care what the name is. This is the number. Starting strong safety, I don't care who the player is. This is the number.
Mm.
There might be some truth to that.
So
Crazy.
the only thing we did, Devin Neal. It's so many, man. Like,
Dude, there's a crap load. And that's what I'm saying about the UDFA, Telly, is like there's so many. I don't think 32 are going to get drafted. Like, you might be able to grab one as a UDFA, and like it might be your most expensive UDFA. Do it. I'm just saying the draft pick is coveted.
So would you find a better running back UDFA or say edge UDFA?
Running back.
What about running back UDFA or D tackle UDFA?
Well, that would bring up like that guy Jackson Hunt, I think from Kentucky. Very, very good defensive tackle.
Appreciate that, Mitch.
Okay.
Mitch is back in the building.
Yeah, I don't think 30-something running backs will get drafted. This is crazy.
Yeah,
like
man.
Marcus Yards is sitting at like number 30 on a lot of people's boards as far as overall running back.
I tried finding stuff on him, Smoke.
This is crazy.
What is this music?
My bad. Appreciate that, Mitch. Welcome again, Mitch. We appreciate you, man, joining the community for sure. What's up, Key? Marcus Jones, all running backs aren't created equal. I don't know, man. Like,
behind good offensive lines, they are.
Think we got a good argument, man.
I don't know what's wrong with my caps, man. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at my caps, man. Like,
hey, look, I'm gonna say right now, we ain't gonna get to every running back, bro.
I know. I want. Look, I added Rashad Smith radar. I want to be able to talk about him.
Yeah, we sitting here at 133, 24 and counting because we had a whole conversation about the draft because of
6th and 7th round.
Yeah, he takes stuff over.
It's okay.
This is so nasty. This is
to be honest, running back should have been like a 2-segment show. There's so many of them.
Man, shoot, we haven't even got the O line.
I know. I was thinking about that.
Yeah,
today.
we ain't got the O line.
Yeah, so what position?
We still missing wide receivers.
Right.
We was missing some edge rushers. We ain't do D tackles.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go talk. Let's go ahead.
I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we could do a couple like short segments or something.
Yeah. But Kyle, this is who I comped as James Conner.
Okay.
Damian Martinez.
Oh yeah.
Transferred from Oregon State. A prolific runner. He comes to University of Miami and provides them a running game like no other. You see the patience, just like with some of the running backs we talked. He also has the power as well. He drives all his guys all the way to the end zone. And his cut-in is just crazy. Definitely a guy I would target as well on day 2.
This draft is gonna be fun. Man.
Whoa.
Is that a neck roll? Or is that his dreads? He got that's
The
dreads.
dreads.
I'm about to say he got a neck roll.
I love the yards after contact. If you can't guarantee spacing offensive line, you need to have somebody who could break tackles.
Oh, that's skinny.
I just want y'all to watch when Jane Connor first got to Arizona under Cliff and just look at him. And you can't tell me they basically a clone.
Oh,
Whoa.
he got quick feet.
Mm-mm-mm. Seven neck roll.
I thought he had on a neck roll.
Oh man.
What's up, coach?
You could pull up the one I just sent to the chat, DT.
They say he may be there in the 6.
He
Who you talking about, Mitch? Who may be there in the 6?
Remember, we did the 3-round mock with what's our guy we had on
Ryan Fowler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he picked Martinez. I think it was that time we had a 3rd round.
Yeah, at that point we did.
Yeah, at that point
Damian Martinez.
Yeah.
We can't leave this episode
my
without
underrated guy. If you look at it, DT in the chat.
No, was that
Kyle
the 4th pick?
Manungai.
You talking about Baby Darius Geis?
Yeah. The first one I said was pass pro, but yeah, you can do this one right here.
Okay.
See, like I don't think I don't know if these guys go in the 2nd round.
Oh, no, he's a day 3 guy.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about Junkins and Samson. I think they're gonna be there like late 2nd, maybe late 2nd and the 3rd. So maybe
that's day 2.
Yeah, like Junkins, Samson, maybe Tuten. I think Tuten is a little later.
Hey, after this, put on the pass pro one I sent in the group chat too.
I got
I like him, man.
It's a big if for this class. Like with teams knowing with how many running backs there are, they could be waiting on them. And I do think that 3rd, 4th round is going to be that hot spot.
Ooh, look at them get out of there. You know, Rutgers have been kind of like they had Pacheco, then they had a back that got drafted to the Jets, and now he's up next. So,
All right, we can't leave this episode without showing TreyVeyon Henderson killing people.
Yeah, but hold on. I want you to see these pass pros first from my
All
guy Kyle Manungai. Goodness gracious.
Oh boy. Oh, they got tired, man.
Okay.
Caught him slipping. Got his man up out of there. That O-line is dog crap. Look at that. Like, why are they
that?
But why that O-line touch the shoulder pad?
Mm-hmm.
I love his pad level. He does a really good job with that.
That like some old Anacostia Indian stuff. When they had a wide splits, they used to like pass block with their arms, like they was like one less round let anybody go past. Nobody do that no more.
Yeah, Stonewall. He ain't scared to stick his nose in there.
He's
I
doing
think
that
that's
in the
gonna be a
cold.
guy that we're gonna get somebody that's good at pass pro.
Yep. He has really good form in his blocks.
That's like that old Madden snow game.
Yep. And if you're physical in a cold weather game, I got a lot of respect for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that O-line is garbage. Oh, Ollie Gordon. Yeah, he'll be there in the late rounds. He had that injury. Is he fully healthy yet?
That's gross.
Yep, that's what I think, Coach.
Yep.
Pass blocking. I think it's gonna come down to that.
Always. If that was the reason why Dotson left, is blocking, then without a doubt they're gonna put that in high regard for running backs.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they say. Used to say C-Rod lacked that.
Yep.
That's why he was always looked over by the other guys. So we're gonna see. All right, TreyVeyon.
Oh, my fault.
Go to
It's time to get to the real show.
go to the thread
Oh,
I did on him, DT, that I sent in the chat.
I
better
got
be
you.
lucky.
Let me go ahead. Not gonna show everybody our chat though. Nosy folks.
I am very much interested, Smokey.
Yeah, he's nice. He's nice. Like I say, I think he's more of a 6th, 7th undrafted guy, but you know what I mean, could come in, compete, things of that nature. So, you know, because I think Pacheco was a 7th round pick, and we see what he does. So,
How many starting running backs they said we had in this draft?
oh,
Anybody know?
That's a good question.
starting running backs.
Keep your eyes on Henderson.
Hopewell's finest.
Are you from Hopewell, Virginia?
Yes, he played at Hopewell, man.
Sign me up,
That's a defensive tackle, dude.
bro. This dude.
They smoke.
Yeah.
He played against my high school. He played against my high school in the playoffs, and he obliterated us with like 300 yards rushing.
Jesus Christ! Look at that. Oh my! I would have rewarded him with a dump off just for that block. Man,
That's a defensive tackle. Right in the chest. Then the next one. He made this linebacker retire. So, nope, never mind.
He's just meeting them in the hole. Look at his base, crown of the helmet, right to this,
Yep.
right in the middle of the shoulder pads,
Perfect
top of the
form.
bottom of the face mask.
that receiver was wide open. Goodness gracious!
That's how you teach it, Smokey.
Yeah.
Like when you teach it, that's what you want to see on the field.
This one's really good.
Telly, appreciate you, Telly, joining the community. Appreciate you.
This is a lead block.
Thank you, Telly. Appreciate you, brother.
Who are they playing? That's Penn State. Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's Penn State.
Yes. Look at that, bro. Imagine him and Jaden, bro. I can see this play with him and Jaden.
I hope
bro.
that ain't one of them safeties from Penn State.
Okay, Smokey.
And I'm just saying they got a high up on the bull. Man,
Cause he got demolished, bro.
that might be a corner. That might be a backside corner.
I'm telling he's a psychopath.
That's safety.
Yeah, I wish I knew which safety that was.
That's
my
Reed. That's Reed.
My nickname for him is Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I like him.
Nobody touched him.
I like him. I love him.
Running style, do he give you J.K. Dobbins style college, DT? Or more explosive?
Nah, I'm thinking like
look at explosive.
I'm thinking like Matt Forte. I'm thinking.
Just imagine if he ever ran track, bro.
He did.
He ran track?
Yeah.
They must ain't care about his form. He's a long distance runner.
What Forte with the Tulane, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Forte or Arian Foster, DT?
He get them arms in.
Ooh. Man, Foster was a bad man, but he played in that.
Did he just
slap?
Yeah, this is at the end of the game. This is at the end of the game.
Oh, and he got an IQ.
Oh my God, Indiana.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, that was ice. That ice.
He got a high IQ too. Oh. Yeah.
They struggled against Indiana. Talk to me about it, DT. Yeah, I know.
What I'm talking about? Something 804. Oh, he from the 804.
Yeah.
Oh, you messing up my algorithm.
Hannibal. I think I got the other play too.
Oh, that's what you calling him, Hannibal? Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, dude. He's a psycho.
We gotta at least show him the Gotta at least show him this play. This is what people talk about when it's talking about home run threat.
Yeah.
Just look at it again.
I
Nah,
don't think so at all, bro.
if he the best player on the board, you take him, man.
No, I get it. It's just like for me personally, it's like my issue is that last year
Oh,
our issue was not offense. Our issue was defense. And that's what I need. I need defense.
I mean, at the same time, Kyle, like you could kind of say it. I mean, Jaden was a whole
just
lot.
run away.
Yeah.
Like
He was.
Jaden,
You're right.
I mean, he was a whole lot, and like you just
Oh,
don't
we
want
were
that
outnumbered.
every year. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you want to add someone to take some of that pressure off too.
Without a doubt. But then that brings in the argument of it being such a deep class at RB that you
Oh
could
yeah. I get that point.
yeah, to build up the
Yeah, I get
defense
that point for sure.
and also add some playmaking to
Man,
take
safety
guys off
play.
of Jaden.
Because this is the thing I talk about. Like
That was
we
shooting.
know he's a force multiplier, but like sometimes I want to multiply an A player.
Like I would be okay with him being the top pick if we're able to do a trade back like 2 or 3 spots. You know what I mean? Just to be able to guarantee that we are going to get that defense.
Watts got swallowed up in that play, bro. Oh my goodness.
But I'm telling you, every time I watch him, I like him more and more.
That's Watts right there coming off the slap blitz. He got. Ooh.
Oh, we didn't see that when we did.
Yeah, this was 2023 season.
Now, the big question for TreyVeyon Henderson that I have, guys, is they did not use him for short yardage. And I understand that they have Judkins. But my whole thought process is if you have Saquon Barkley, you're not taking Saquon off the field in short yardage situations. And like, why?
He said with the Michigan highlights.
Whoa.
Well,
Whoa.
I can tell you, when it came for Ohio State in short yardage situations for the past couple of seasons, that had just been a struggle overall. So they had tried like different ways, try to get short yardage, wherever it was TreyVeyon, Quinshawn, Chip. You know, that was a struggle overall with the short yard situations. Not saying he can't do it, but it's more of a Ohio State thing than a TreyVeyon Henderson thing. But I will say if there's one knock on TreyVeyon, it will be that sometimes he can be a little bit impatient. That's something that he had to learn at Ohio State. He was known for his big runs and stuff. So as he got a little bit wiser, he started to take the 4 to 5 yard gain instead of trying to go for the big 40 to 50 yard run, which leads to a lot of yardage.
And I know the injury history is something else as well. Like we interviewed Thor Nystrom, and he talked about how like Ohio State learned that by using TreyVeyon Henderson as the bell cow, it kind of led to that injury. And so that he thinks in the NFL using him in a rotation is going to be much more better for him, which was my argument why he wasn't considered an every down back, just because. But I think it's stupid to even say that because in the NFL you don't want to have to rely on one guy unless you have a Saquon.
Yeah.
What pick the Panthers got?
Panthers are 8.
So that means they got like the 40th pick? They talking about they eyeing them. I see an article on it today.
The Panthers got.
I hope he doesn't go to the Panthers. For his
eighth. They got the 8th pick.
But I'm like, why like the Panthers, okay, I understand you drafted Jonathan Brooks, he's out. You just re-signed Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah,
Chuba Hubbard. I don't know.
Because that's
I know Jonathan Brooks is out.
It's a thing, man. Like This is why sometimes when like this is my whole thing. That's why I don't really believe in the BPA versus need thing. If you're going to get best player available, what you got in your roster don't matter in the draft. Like if you're going to tell I'm truly going to go BPA, well, your roster shouldn't matter if you're going to go BPA. So even though they signed both of those guys and Henderson is sitting there, if you telling me you're going to go BPA, if he's the best person on the board, you got to take him.
You know what I want? Say if Genty
That's
goes
why
6.
my bad. Yeah.
If Genty goes 6 to the Raiders, say the Bears take Omarion at 10. Will the Cowboys take Henderson at 12?
That digger your running backs. Like,
And that's what I don't want.
I'm gonna be real. I think Dallas prioritized wide receiver first. I think
Okay.
I think they see the pool of running back being so deep, they don't have to do what they did with
we did get in, Zane.
like a Zeke.
Because they did pick up 2 in the offseason. Javante and Miles. Was it
Sanders,
Miles? Yeah.
but they're not moving the needle.
That's what I'm saying. So a Henderson sitting there at 12 if the first 2 went at 6 and 10. Oh, man.
So how about this?
Devin Neal feels like a good fit for them.
Mm-hmm. Ted McMillan, Matthew Golden, or TreyVeyon Henderson?
I think they'll go Golden.
Yeah.
I hope not.
All right, let's go ahead.
AP, you want to come in here and shake things up and get us good? Yeah, right. You got to stay good, baby. Let's go, AP. Man, let's go.
All right, we're going to definitely try to finish this up. We got maybe one more after this. This is Quinshon Judkins, running back out of Ohio State. This is some tape from him when he was at Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's the tape you look at with him, bro. Boom. Goodness gracious.
That's what I picked up yesterday at the top of the third.
So Quinshon, he had 2 productive seasons at Ole Miss, but then decided to pursue a national championship with Ohio State. Also came because they wanted to take the pressure and the pain tolerance off of TreyVeyon, so he could be more fresh during the season. So I think a lot of people forgot how good Quinshon is, and I think when people see Quinshon, they think of Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson's not doing this.
No, he's not.
Did he put on weight at Ohio State?
Put about 10 pounds.
Okay.
But he's a bruiser, bro. He looks for contact for real. I'm surprised he ain't run that guy over. This dude had almost 1,600 yards as a true freshman. Like, and 274 carries, followed up with 271, and then to go to be a double threat guy with Henderson down to 194. So, but listen to the touchdowns: 16, 15, 14, 3 seasons.
Fans will get mad at that.
Touchdowns.
Fans will be mad at this.
Oh my goodness!
After the season,
man,
he always got walked down.
Yeah. Oops. He got us for 3 touchdowns this game, I believe.
Look at mean.
Look at that.
That was Marshawn Lynch-esque.
He got us for 3 of them things.
I got him he reminds me of Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all love
Kareem Hunt when he was in his early Kansas City days.
Yeah, they were just too good this night. I think if we would have played them the night after, we would have won, but not this night.
Oh, boy.
Judkins, his pass protection needs work, and I think his catching isn't the best. DT could talk about that better than I can.
Rudy's offside.
He's not going to be as utilized as much as like TreyVeyon, but it's not necessarily that he can't do it. It just needs some refinement and some work. He has potential to be all three down player if he
Mhm.
puts everything together. But we know on the first two downs and short yardage, he's going to give you that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I think that like if we got a back, this is the thing we have to realize. Even like with Dog Tower was saying about getting walked down, right? Everyone talks about, man, give me a back that's averaging 4.5 to 5.3 yards per carry. Give me this, give me that. If he's giving you that, and every now and then he breaks one from 30 plus, but get caught at the 5 yard line, what are you mad about?
Right.
Mhm.
Like he's not like when he breaks one like that for 40 plus and get walked down, that's a cherry on top. That's not quote unquote expected of him. So if it's not expected of him, we should look at it as it's a cherry on top. But when I need 4 downs on 3rd and 4, I can go to him because I know he's gonna get me 5.
Well,
Everything else is a bonus.
and that being said, dude, it's like running backs are made to be able to be thicker so they could make sure that they embrace the contact and not get beat
Yeah,
up, right? If they were at lesser
yeah,
weight, I'm sure that they could pull away, but that's not what they're asked to do.
right. I mean,
50
you get
total touchdowns in 3 seasons. Enough said about this guy.
yeah,
He's
that's
5 years
insane,
old.
bro. Like that's the thing. Like when people say home run hitter, like what does that mean? Right? You want a guy that's averaging 60 yards a carry? That ain't gonna happen.
They just have
It's gonna
they have
PTSD.
PTSD from the championship game of Saquon doing that to us. What it is.
Yeah. What's truly is needed is we do understand about sometimes scoring quickly, but also just like I mentioned earlier, Deuce, like last year we had a lot of 13 to 15 play drives, also based on the aggressiveness of how DQ and Cliff were on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is sustainable.
Yeah, because the backs and whatever the offensive line you can charge it to whoever you want, they wasn't giving you 4.5
Right.
to 5.3 yards per carry.
Nope.
Because if they was doing that, you go down the field much faster.
Yep.
You're getting 2 to 3 yards. So there we go, 3rd and 3, get another 2.5 yards. Then we got to go for it on 4th and 1. And
Right.
it's usually Jaden running for 5 to 6 yards.
Yep.
So if you got a guy that's averaging, 4.7 to 5.3 yards per carry, those drives are going to be a little shorter. Not only is it going to be shorter, but you got you're going to be able to do more play action.
The Debo factor too.
Yeah, and the Debo factor. So like a lot of those things, like no, we can't do 16 play drives. Actually, when our offense was putting up points, we wasn't doing that. We was getting down the field quick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It might be 6 or 7 play drive, but we was getting down the field quick and we was putting points up on the board. But against these better teams is when you see us starting to slow it down a little more and have these longer drives.
And the pass pro against Cincinnati is what spurned that big touchdown to Terry McLaurin on the sideline by McNichols. And that's something that has to be taken seriously.
Yeah, but Dog Tide, this is not on the running back. Like,
Yes, you're right.
we just got to score when we get in the red zone.
Yep.
Like, if I got a running back to take one for 45 and get caught at the 3 yard line, why are we not scoring a touchdown on 1st and goal from the 3?
Thank you, Deuce.
That's not the running back fault that he got caught. We should be able to score, and then what? You go right back to that running back that's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. He should be able to take it in on 1st and 3 for a touchdown. Simple.
Yes. And that's what we lacked last season. We need the physical nature of the offense. We need that badly.
Exactly, Vito. Give me the consistency. And if you take one for 40, 50 yards every other game and get caught at the 3 yard line, that's a cherry on top. I'm happy. Now I need Cliff to dial up 1st and goal touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring in the second back that you drafted in the 6th, the power back, to get you that 3 yards.
All right. Last one of the night.
See, this is why we can't do multiple positions. It's 2 hours. All we did was running back.
Yeah, I'm tired.
This is the last one. Mario Hampton.
He fits the mold of an every down back. It's just the pass pro is his biggest weakness. And it's not even that bad, but it's not something that you can really depend on.
Is it adequate, Kyle?
Yeah, but if you
Or below
watch the Drake May year, it's like Drake May was getting destroyed, and Marion Hampton was not helping him whatsoever.
He got you. I know he ain't jumped from the 10-yard line. DC, go back real quick. I know he ain't jump over the pile from the 10-yard line, bro.
It's a 5-yard line.
I'm about to say he jumped over the pile. He said Trent Scott was our best goal line option.
Hey. This against Duke, yeah.
Remind me a mix of DeMarco Murray and David Johnson.
Yeah. That's what I had put out there last week, DeMarco Murray.
Look at that.
Look at 78. This is why I want to get rid of the tush push.
Like if you had to decide with a gun to your head, TreyVeyon Henderson or a Marion Hampton, what are you picking?
It was clear cut for me at first, but I don't know now, man.
Man,
what about you, Smoke? 3 more minutes, Smoke. 3 more minutes, Smoke.
Oh, I'm good. No,
I'm about to
he's number one on my board. He's number one on my board.
Omar
I know. I don't.
One.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a shot at getting Omarion.
I don't either. I think TreyVeyon Henderson to be your best bet.
Yeah.
If he goes to Dallas, I'm calling him Omarion.
Yeah.
So to Kyle's question, I think that's the only knock on him, right? To be honest with you, the pass blocking, we seen some of these running backs that we did tonight. Some of them have the capability to be on third down and protect their quarterback and understand their assignment. In the NFL level, can he get that coaching to where he can be average? If he could be average, then I'm taking Omarion. But right now, TreyVeyon provides me right now.
45. What are you doing?
And you have a guy in Ezekiel. I'm about to say Ezekiel. Yeah, it's about time. You have a guy in
Trey.
No, what's our running back name?
Austin.
Austin Reed. I'm gonna say Austin Reed. Jesus Christ. Austin Eckler. You have a guy in Eckler on this team right now that's great, right? Elite at pass blocking. And he's a guy that can Omarion have if that's the decision between two of the backs pass blocking, can Omarion Hampton be a good pass blocker in year 2?
Yeah.
That's what I asked.
I don't think so.
Hey, listen, while y'all looking at Hampton running, I'm looking at this Willie Lampkin, number 53.
He's yeah.
apparently we like him a lot.
Bro, he's a beast, bro.
Yeah, he has a high motor.
It's crazy, man.
53, Willie Lampkin. He just smaller guard. I don't see too many 5'10" guards.
Look, he wants to smoke every play, boy.
Just a guard.
He go looking for it every play. All right, DT.
Woo!
Yeah, that was a good one tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, one more Sunday.
How's this gonna work?
I don't know, man.
We ain't there. I mean, shoot, we might as well do them together, man. Just pick 3 of each.
We can do kickers next week for Deuce.
No, we did kickers week 1.
Oh, that's right.
First episode. Oh, man.
It's probably why in this conundrum, they're kickers.
Yeah. We should have started earlier.
He'll blame the kicker episode.
Also did quarterbacks. We got 5 on it.
Quarterbacks would have
Then
been
we gotta
first
do
in
mocks
years
next
past.
week. We got to get through it real quick.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
next
man.
Saturday, Sunday, or next Sunday, Monday?
Saturday, Monday.
Okay. All right.
Might have to change it. I might not be there for Saturday. Got Bible study, and then I'm helping clean up the church for Easter.
Okay.
Yeah, just let me know
We'll figure something out.
what day I'm on.
Next week is spring break for me.
Oh, it ain't this week. It's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, DT need to get in the bed, Deuce. Cussing out the kids about.
Man, look, last Friday was crazy.
Don't yell at me, Telly.
You drafted
Right,
2 running backs.
Wrap it up.
All right, what we got in the week, man?
Sleep.
Sleep. Sounds about right. Anything you got, Kyle?
Just look out for the Burgundy Zone, and I guess we'll look into. I don't know what we're gonna look at next Sunday. We'll figure that out, and maybe I'll upload some stuff there.
Smoke.
Hey man, I know we got one more show before the draft, but to all my Twitter followers, if you don't draft a receiver, see you later.
Oh yeah. You gotta tell Kyle, Smoke.
If we don't draft a receiver, Kyle, I'm off Twitter. I'm deleting the account.
All right, just make a burner. Nobody will know.
I got 3 already.
That's insane. Hey, but look, man.
Kyle,
guys-
don't go nowhere, Kyle.
Oh no.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna hang up soon as it's over with.
Oh no, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you guys, go ahead and check out my latest episode. I did an all 32 mock with all the teams on my channel. Look out for Command Time this week, and also Enters the Lab will be back this Thursday with a brand new member. Can't wait for y'all to see that. But that is definitely all we have for you tonight. A 2-hour pod. It's absolutely insane. That's how deep this running back class is. But we'll catch you guys next week, and we'll hopefully have something planned for y'all because that next week is about draft week, y'all. So it's your favorite crew, Commander Draft Show, live on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter. We'll catch you guys next Sunday.